Hello everybody, welcome back to Lyons Family Farms. Another day is here. I'm gonna wash this tractor off before I gotta go rake hay this afternoon. So, up to the pressure washer we go. All right, done. Oh yeah, I'll be able to see out the windows now. It's after lunch now. I'm in the tractor, gonna go start raking. Wasn't much to record this morning. I just did some bedding and had phone calls and stuff. So, but heading to the field with the rake. First field's done. On to the next. When you're raking, your main goal is to make it the most efficient for the baler. You got to think, if I was baling this field, how would I want it to be? That's how I always look at it. When I'm raking, I'm thinking, if I was the baler guy, would I like this or not? It's a good way to do it the best you can. I think everything's like a point row around here. This feels like a triangle. Just got done raking the triangle, but you put hay fields and fields that would be a pain to have corn or beans in, or stuff that's too steep. So I'd rather be raking hay in a field that's on a hill than hauling corn silage. So there's always a plus side to the situation. Getting some build up on my kicker wheels, wrapping around it. And they don't flow as smooth because the hay's all wrapped up. And there's a lot on there. Okay, that's done. So this field goes up and down, and then it goes this way. So I'm gonna rake it this way. And then once I get all that done, I'll rake it up this way to clean my end rows up, because it's hard to get a nice end. You gotta do the end rows last. So let's jump on it. I do these point rows is I don't rake the far side. And this side here, I'm raking in. And then when I get down to the other end, I get to where there's about a rake width pass, and then I'll lift the rake up and then set it back down again when there's another rake width pass along the edge. So then at the end, I can just do one pass and then it'll clean it up. I'll show you when I get back to the other end of what I mean by that. So we're coming up to a point here. Still coming. I guess I started the camera too early. But as we close into this point, once the rake gets to take it to the edge up, I'll lift it up, turn back around no matter, yeah. So now we're getting to the edge of the field there. Lift her up. And this isn't raked here yet, but that's no big deal. Lift the turn. I'm not worried about getting this little bit. I'll get it at the end. So I come back to where it's one rake width pass, right about here, and then set her back down. go again. So I'm gonna get these rows, these up and down rows done, clean these ends up, and then I'll go around the whole field. Pull it around the outside of the field now to get the end rows cleaned up, and this field's done. Raking hay is a little bit like merging. You gotta start a field in the right way so that everything goes how you want it to. Because if you start it to like the wrong side, or you know, it can mess it all up, and then at the end you got more point rows to do. Makes it more pain. You waste more time. You gotta be efficient. But Dave's gonna get started baling here. I got 3 more fields to rake. Yeah, 3. And then I'm gonna have to go milk since he's gonna be baling. So I'll give him the camera whenever I'm done raking. Right here is where Dave rolled the tank. I don't know if you can see how steep it is, but it's steep. The reasoning for that was there's a little bit muddy out, and the tank started to slide down the hill, and then it just kind of rolled. So sorry if those clips about me talking about point rows was kind of rambling on or not that great. I was trying to concentrate. Raking's done. Got it back in the shed. Let's go see what Dave's up to. Good to see you again. Just got done on this hill over here. Now we're gonna head over to that side, over on that hill and on the back side of there. If you haven't noticed yet, there's a lot of hills around here. So a little bit of an overview on this monitor here. When you're baling, those 2 bars fill up, and you got to keep it even on both sides, or one side will get lower, it'll start blinking. If you don't keep it even, then you end up with one side of the bale blowing out, the net wrap will tear. So you have to try and keep it even the whole time. When you start a new bale, this number here is always at 30, and it'll start making the core. And once it gets past 30 inches, it'll start counting up. And we have ours set for 60-inch bales. So then once that number gets up to the 60, it'll beep and let you know you have a bale made. And then if you hit this bale count button, it'll show we did 107 so far. And there's the total on the baler. So it's pretty much still a new baler at this point. You can also set how many times it'll wrap it. We have it set at 3.5. So it'll, in the front there is where the nut wrap's stored. It'll go around the bale 3.5 times before it'll beep and say it's done. Then there's a few other buttons on there that I don't even know what they do. So as that monitor counts up to 60, once it gets to 56, it'll do that little beep you just heard, just to warn you that you're almost there. And then once you hit 60, it does that beep. Now it's wrapping the bale. And once it's done with that, it'll beep again. And I'm angling it like this to stop the bale from rolling down the hill. And once you get the back door shut, it does another beep, and then you're ready to go. Well, I think I'll mount this thing somewhere so you can get a close-up of it going in the head. Hopefully the camera don't fall off. Adam might be a little upset. Camera's still safe. Well, our roll of net wrap is empty. So let's get out and check. First things first, pull this handle. Pull this up. Look out for all the dust. Then pull this handle down. Bring this out. Pull the clip off. These washers. Send them somewhere that you won't lose them. Then pull your old tube off. And back in this little compartment is where you hopefully have your new roll waiting. We have our new roll ready to go on here. Got to make sure it's coming up underneath and coming out this way. Else it's not going to work. Once you get it up on here, you got to pull enough out to do what this here says. Take it down under this. Up on this side of this bar, up around this one, around that, and then down in this crack there. And you gotta make sure enough's down in there that when you wrap the first time, it'll catch it and wrap the bale. They gave you this little contraption here to shove that net wrap down through there. That way it sticks out this bottom side, and then you're good. Alright, we have our new roll on there. Ready to rock and roll again. Once you get your new roll on, you gotta start the PTO again. Get the tractor up to PTO speed. Then hold this start wrap button. Then it'll beep. And then it'll wrap the bell there and you're back in normal business. We have our first runaway. I don't think I'll catch up to that in time. She's heading for the woods. Well, it didn't go in here too far, so we'll be able to get that pretty easy with the tractor. Well, we just finished up our last field, and when you're on your last bale, you make sure there's enough hay that gets above 30, so you can wrap it. Otherwise, the baler will say, I ain't wrapping that. So then come over here, hold the start wrap, it'll beep, and then wrap her up. Well, we're back at home base here. We have our little miniature bell here we're gonna get out. When they're small like this, they won't roll out on their own. Here's what the inside looks like. These rollers here sometimes get net wrap built up on it on the edges. You gotta cut it off or it'll start making the bells blow out wherever it's built up. Well, that takes care of the majority of our grass hay that we're baling here, first cutting, except for this pasture ground that runs back through there, about another 10 acres or so roughly. We want to let that go another few weeks or a month. That way the fiber content will get a little higher in that because we're baling it for our dry cows. And with that, that'll wrap this video up. As usual, thank you very much for watching, and we really do appreciate it.